Alright guys, today we are back with another power ranking, and this time it is going to be from NA personality Doublelift. Obviously he is a guy with a historic track record in competitive League of Legends. Yeah, maybe today he's not as relevant, but still a really big streamer, content creator, YouTuber, all that stuff. He recently did an LTA North power ranking on his live stream, and then it got posted to like one of his clip channels or his second channels or whatever. So in this video today we're going to be going over Doublelift's LTA North power rankings for 2025. Yes, we are already a week into the LTA North season, but during that first week we didn't really have any surprises, no upsets, so not really too much should have changed or has changed perception wise or anything like that. So with that being said, let's get right into the list. At number 8, or I guess in the D tier at the very bottom, again there's 8 teams in the league, so what he has is the 8th best team. You can't really see this because it's black on black, or it's like navy blue on black or whatever, but this was like literally just a screenshot from Doublelift's tier list. That is going to be Disguised at the bottom. Now again, Disguised is Castle, XU, Abadage, Scary Jerry, and Hoohee. Now that name, this team does actually have some former big names as veterans, guys like Abadage and Hoohee. Not like the most insane names in the world, but okay names. Has some more up and coming talent, maybe that people have a little bit of potential with, guys like XU, Scary Jerry, Castle could end up developing into a nice player. We'll have to see, but yeah, overall I do think this team is pretty weak. I don't know if they deserve to necessarily be the worst team in the league in their own category, but obviously Disguise was coming in with a pretty budget roster, it does sound like, or pretty overall small budget. But the big thing here for Disguise as well is, again, they are the guest slot team, and they're also gonna have to fight for their life at the end of the year to keep their slot in the LTA North, because otherwise there's going to be teams coming up from the challengers, qualifiers and all that stuff, that are going to be trying to take their slot. So even though this team has a small budget and isn't looking too strong on paper, they're going to need to figure some stuff out, otherwise they're going to find themselves out of the league. So maybe that could lead to future roster changes, or future coaching changes or whatever, or maybe spending a little bit more money, because if they don't spend enough money to even keep themselves in the league, they're going to end up losing a lot more money than just maybe if they give themselves a little bit bigger budget. I don't know. But Doublelift doesn't have too much faith in them. And again, I can't fault him too much. But in the C tier, he does have Lion Gaming. And I do believe the left to right does matter in this list. So as the 7th best team, he does have Lion Gaming. This is going to be Licorice, Adi, Saint, Henna, and Lions. We have obviously Lions, which is going to be kind of a meme or just funny naming over the course of the season. But yeah, this team, I don't know too much about a lot of these players. Obviously, I know people are pretty excited about Saint and think he has a lot of talent and potential. I know there were some people who, wanted Saint to end up on some other different rosters or other teams or whatever. Licorice, I know, is a guy who, a couple years ago was really good. Hopefully he can develop and turn back into that. So I think this team does have some talent and potential. Overall, does this roster seem that much more exciting or talented or whatever than Disguised? To me, not really. So again, I don't know if they deserve to be a whole tier up, but I do think they have a higher upside, a higher potential. If guys like Licorice and Saint can be kind of what we hope they can be, this Lion team could be pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I think the games between them and DSG overall could be pretty competitive. So I would maybe have them in the same tier. I don't know. Next up, obviously, we have Dignitas at the top of that C tier. This is Surdy, Sheedon, Keen, Tomo, and Isles. And again, this roster also not really that insane to me. Obviously, kind of the big standout player here is Surdy. I know some people are excited about Sheedon. Maybe he'll develop into, a better and better player. Some people excited about Keen as well. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But Surdy's kind of the big guy here, that could really become hopefully a staple name in the LTA North for years to come. Seems like he has a lot of individual talent. Don't know if he'll be able to put it all together or lead that to a consistent career or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But for me, these bottom 3 teams are all very, very, very close. It would be hard to rank them. Maybe you favor one team over another because of their play style or their coaching staff or player X, Y, Z. I don't know. I don't personally think there's a huge discrepancy between these teams. And honestly, if Doublelift has Dignitas and Lions in the C tier, I would probably bump up DSG to the C tier and put them at the bottom. If you want to bump all these teams down to the D tier, I wouldn't really have a problem with that either. I think these teams should probably all be in the same tier, though. I think those rosters, at least on paper, based off star power, name recognition, overall level of quality we've seen recently, I don't think any of those are really standing out that much to each other. Now, I am really, really excited to see these teams. I'm not really excited because they're not going to be that exciting of games or whatever, but the lower bracket of Split 1 will really show us the difference between some of these lower tier teams, and we'll actually start to see, if one of these teams is really outclassing the other. But to me, these 3 teams kind of seem in the same tier, kind of seem in the same class. Next up, we're getting into the B tier. Now, here we have Shopify Rebellion and 100 Thieves. Shopify Rebellion at the bottom there, coming coming in as the 5th best team. This is going to be Fudge, Contracts, Palafox, B-Boy, and Seo. So this team is actually kind of interesting to me. Obviously, Palafox maybe not coming off the best year, but Contracts is a guy who we've seen have some on and off success in the LCS. Fudge, I think, was the big pickup for Shopify Rebellion in the offseason. B-Boy coming off a pretty solid year last year. Shopify Rebellion has some talent. They have some pieces. They could develop into something this split, but also they could be a couple future roster changes from developing into something good. I don't know, but obviously Doublelift has them in the B tier. And then he also has 100 Thieves at the top of the B tier. Now, to me, this one's a little bit surprising. Sniper, River, Quid, FBI, and Ayla. To me, that team seems significantly better than Shopify Rebellion. I would probably have 100 Thieves a tier up. I would probably have them in a higher tier than Shopify Rebellion. But obviously, Doublelift kind of sees these teams pretty similar and pretty close, but also sees the teams above them as a tier above as well. So that is a little bit interesting to me, and I think maybe even a little bit of a hot take, because I don't think there's a ton of people out there who have Cloud9 standing alone in the A tier. There's some people who are going to have Cloud9 is the 3rd best team in the LCS for sure. But for me, I think I'm closer to having 100 Thieves and Cloud9 in the same tier rather than 100 Thieves and Shopify Rebellion in the same tier. To me, I really think right now in the LCS there's a clear top 4. I think Shopify Rebellion is a close 5th. But I think 100 Thieves and Cloud9 are going to go back and forth for that 3rd spot. And I might even favor 100 Thieves a little bit. Again, that roster, River and Quid were really, really good last year. I think FBI should be an improvement over what they were doing in the bot lane last year. Sniper is going to continue to develop. And if FBI does end up being stronger in the bot lane, 400 Thieves, that will also help Ayla look better and maybe make him play at a higher level in this season as well. And then Cloud9, coming off a really rough offseason, I have to knock them down a little bit. Cloud9, already struggled and had some issues last year, and I really think on paper their roster got worse, so it would be really hard for me to keep them above some of these other teams. So I'm surprised Doublelift has them so high. Obviously we have Thanatos, we have Blabber, Loki, Sven, and Vulcan, where hey, Loki and Sven, those are downgrades over Jojo, Pune, and Berserker. Vulcan, people are having some question marks about him and just how good he has been recently and what kind of form he's going to be in. Obviously, Blabber is Blabber, and he's an absolute monster, but is that enough to really differentiate them from the rest of these teams? I don't know. Obviously, Cloud9 has faith in Sven. They have faith in Loki. We'll have to wait and see. But to me, at least right now, Cloud9 is going to have to prove it to me, and I'm not ready to put Cloud9 ahead of 100 Thieves. Definitely not in their own tier above 100 Thieves until they prove it, but obviously, Doublelift likes what they have going on, and he believes in them for this coming season. And then finally, in the S tier for Doublelift, he has FlyQuest and TL. No shocks, no surprises there. But like I said, left to right does matter. So he's putting FlyQuest as the top dogs. They're coming off a summer championship. They're coming off a better run at Worlds in TL. They're coming off almost making it to the semifinals at Worlds. Obviously, I and all other NA fans and players and everybody out there are hoping they'll be able to recreate some of that success, have another exciting run at some of these international tournaments. But I'm definitely looking forward to TL and FlyQuest matches this year, especially since they're both running it back. There should be some good competitive fun storylines there, but I do think that FlyQuest and TL are for sure in a league of their own. Maybe Cloud9 should even be bumped down to the B tier. Maybe there deserves to be a gap between TL and FlyQuest and the rest of the LCS, because I really think, at least coming into the year until we see differently, I think that is the case for me. So overall, I think Doublelift's list is mostly in line with a lot of the normal fan sentiment. He maybe has a couple things mixed up, but hey, we'll have to wait and see if he's right about some of his changes, or if this is going to look like a silly list, a couple of months around. I don't know, but I do love and appreciate content creators and people in the scene putting out these lists, putting their money where their mouth is, and just breaking things down and creating LTA North content, so we can help grow the league and get people excited for it. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.